and weighs in at
आप लोग देख रहे हैं
190
बहुत ही
pounds.
ज़बरदस्त
So starting
ग्रैपलिंग
off, I
वीडियो,
always find it very important to maintain
बहुत ही
4 points of
ज़बरदस्त
contact at
कुश्ती
all
होने वाली
times.
है।
Otherwise, it's really easy for people to pass your guard. So right
पैरेलल
away,
रियर्स
I
बॉय के बीच
inverted,
में।
trying to take the back, but he was doing a good job squaring
आप
up.
लोग
So I
पहले
was
चैनल को
only
सब्सक्राइब
able
कर
to get on
लीजिए,
top
उसके बाद
into
आगे
half guard. And right away, as you see, I'm looking to grab a Kimura grip on
बहुत ही
him.
गजब
That is
पकड़ा
one of
है।
my favorite things to do when I have my leg trapped in half guard. So I always
जबरदस्त,
just flip on over to the other side, which allows me to either get an armbar
बहुत
or
ही
take the back. But right here, I just settled for the armbar because he did a good job at keeping his back glued to the floor.
बहुत ही खूबसूरत।
Bjorn is very strong, so I was trying to
मेडल
do a
लुक टेक
bicep
डाउन
crunch
हो रहा
by
है।
crossing my left leg over his bicep and locking a triangle. But he kept
लड़का
sitting up,
चलाने
so I
का
had to pry the
आ
wrist
रही है।
and fall to a 90-degree angle towards his head and
अभी
just
हारा
rotate all the
नहीं,
way back to
वो
get the
बाकी है।
armbar. So now we change it up and he sits back to play guard and I automatically stand up to pass his guard. So he is doing a good job at keeping a De La Hiva hook on me, which allows me to not pass all the way to side control. But I've been working on my leg attack game, so right away I want to
बहुत
go
ही
into a
शानदार
knee
लुक
bar
लेग अटैक
or some type of toe hold. But he is doing a good job kicking my
ये हुक
grips,
लगा।
and I have my triangle locked to isolate his leg, and I push my hips all the way to the floor, which gives me the knee bar and the tap. This was such a fun and eventful role. I felt like we were constantly flowing the entire time,
ग्रैपलिंग
which is just
वीडियो
always
बहुत ही
such a good role
शानदार
for
वीडियो
me.
चल रहा है।
So to start this one off, I basically do an X guard entry, but I kind of reap the knee, honestly, right here. But really, I'm just trying to isolate that right leg to go for a straight ankle lock. So here I'm trying to get my hooks on my feet to push him as far away as possible. That way I can elongate my body and have more pressure on that ankle for the straight ankle lock. Before we started, I told him I wasn't going to be able to ankle lock him because of how sweaty he was, and he was just calling me out on my lies. So here I was actually going to go for a knee slice pass, but my legs bend really weird, and I can always tell for some reason when I can just windshield whatever to the side to either get side control or mount. So that's what happened here is I established mount, and I am going to definitely try to get a triangle because he put his arm on the inside, and there it is. And to tap him, I actually just kind of grabbed a deep underhook on his left arm and just pulled as hard as I could. Alright, so now I'm going to be playing guard again. So I once again try to keep points of contact at all times. So I put my leg on the inside and invert to try to attack a leg again. As you can tell, that's one of my favorite things to do in no-gi. So here he has his leg bent with his heel right in my armpit, so I'm able to... Oh no, he actually got out of it. There was a heel hook there, I just didn't get it, I guess. So good job, Bjorn. Now I am in deep half, and here I'm going to try to do the tabletop sweep, but he is doing a very good job applying pressure forward. So I'm actually not able to apply the tabletop sweep here because of his reaction. So I felt like I was here for a really long time. I couldn't really do much. I eventually tried to get into 50-50, but I couldn't really do that either. So I was just trying to wait for some type of reaction or space where I could go in between the legs and maybe either get a sweep or attack the opposite side ankle. But overall, he just did a really good job defending all my attacks here, and then I finally got a heel hook. For a bigger guy that's pretty new into the sport, Bjorn is a very good training partner. He never uses his weight or full strength against me. He tries to be really technical, and it helps him in the long run because he won't have to rely on those attributes, but he will be able to use them as an additional benefit for his jiu-jitsu. Ooh, I like it. He's giving me a taste of my own medicine by dropping back for a straight ankle lock. I love when lower belts attack my legs because I always wish that when I was a lower belt, I practiced leg locks more because I honestly didn't start doing it until I was a purple belt. And right there, I hit my favorite pass of all time. I don't even know what it's actually called. I just call it my step over pass, but I basically jump in the air and swing my far side foot all the way across the person's guard, and it is so satisfying when I get it. All right, now I was just able to get the mount position, and I am kind of just faking some type of Ezekiel on his neck just to get a reaction out of him so I can step over his arm and try to get some type of triangle or arm bar. So I end up throwing my leg over for the triangle, but my positioning and angle was a little off, so I knew I had to attack the arm right away, otherwise he would get out of my triangle, and I complete a straight arm bar from here. Alright, so now I'm just trying to make sure that Bjorn doesn't pass my guard. So I'm trying to get grips, but it's really hard during no-gi because everyone's so slippery. I can never get wrist control or anything like that. So I usually just try to get as close to the body as possible. That way I can get some type of control. Like here I was able to grab the kimura and throw him over my head and try to take the back. But we ran